Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Farming Simulator 2015. We are back on the dedicated server. We are on the map Graceland, and I am just grabbing a load of lambs. Now, if you want more information about the server, how do you get on the server, how do you get the mods for the server, all that information, look in the show notes below. You'll find a link that'll say server and mod info. If you click on that, it'll take you to my mod spreadsheet. Page 1 will give you all the info about the server and how to get the mods. So make sure you check that out. Everybody is welcome. Just make sure you read the rules and come on over here and be a part of the community. So today we're going to load up some lambs, take those over to the slaughterhouse or to the butcher and get rid of those. Now, I've gotten some questions about how to do, one is price-wise, and the other was they couldn't seem to get the fattened animals. One thing that you have to do is you have to come in here, and if you bring up the help menu, once again, you're going to see button 5, which is my O button, cycles through whether I can load lamb or fatten lamb, or actually it'll say young lamb and lamb. Now I've already got a couple of lamb in the trailer here, and so I'm just going to go ahead and my refill button and load up. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys when we come back the next time exactly how to make sure you get it. But the trick to it is you have to make sure that you select the right animal to get them into the trailer. If you don't select lamb instead of young lamb, you'll just get all the young lamb that you put into your fattening house or into your barn, and you'll end up taking them right back to and slaughter them. And that might be the issue that someone was writing me, that they were only getting $1 an animal, and they couldn't figure out why they were getting such a low price for them. Could be you loaded the wrong animal up into the trailer. I know Shaq was doing this one morning, and he didn't realize that you could actually load up either or, and he loaded up the wrong animals and had hauled them off to the slaughterhouse. So make sure you're getting the right animal when you back up to your livestock shack or barn. I guess I keep having a problem coming up with a name for that. I guess it is just a barn, but when you come up to it, make sure that you get the right animal out of it. Otherwise, you're going to be hauling off the animal, and you're going to sell off your young animal, and you're not going to get any money for them. So we're going to head over here to the butcher, which is located right next to the livestock area. So I'm going to head down here, hang a right, and drive up there, and we'll sell these off. Now, the question I was getting was about price. How do I get my price? Because the person who was asking me was only getting like $1 per animal. And basically the price is outlined for you in your PDA. If you look at the PDA, and we'll bring it up here in just a second when we get to the butcher. If you look in your PDA, it will show you your prices per animal, and usually they're about $1,000 an animal for your pigs, beef, and lamb. Then your chickens are about $200 a piece fattened, and you should be getting that for the fattened. If you're only getting a couple of dollars an animal for your fattened animal, chances are you went to your livestock house or your barn and you pulled out the wrong animal. That's probably what happened. And like I said, I'll demonstrate that again in just a few minutes when we go back to get another load, because we got quite a few lamb I'm going to be hauling out today to get them out of there and get them sold off. So we're going to come to the butcher to sell off your livestock. You just bring them right here to this little area that is outlined, and we'll pull back over until we get the dump icon. There we go. Now I can just spin around here with my camera so we can watch this whole process. I'll go ahead and hit Q to unload. It'll lower the trailer, and then my animals will go out. Now, again, just to look at the price that I'm going to be getting per animal, if I come back here to the very front of the PDA where you have your storage prices, if you look, lamb is selling right now for $1,238 a piece. Then I'm getting $1,500 for pigs, $1,200 for beef, $202 for fattened chicken. So those are the prices that I'm getting right now at the butcher, and that's really the only place you can sell off your livestock is at the butcher. So that's where you're going to bring it to. If you're getting any less than that, you're getting that because I think you're selling off the wrong animal. And you can make that mistake, I will tell you that right now. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take a little shortcut here right over to the livestock area. I wish this had been like a little gravel path, because it just makes sense. Because the trick I have found is when you sell something off, replace it immediately. So that's what we're going to do today, is pull in here, flip her around so we can see to back up, and put her in reverse, back her up. Yeah, come on, come back around to me. There we go. Alright, so get inside the gate, back up to the little thing, hit the X button, get my ramp to go down, bring up my help menu so I can see what I got. And again, if you look, I've got young chickens is up right now, so I'm going to hit the O key, and I'm going to cycle through to the young lamb at 20 bucks a pop. And I'll just go ahead and hit my load button and let them load up here. And you'll notice that the icon for the lamb and the young lamb are different. The lamb is just a full-size lamb. The young lamb has a baby bottle that it's nursing on, so you know the difference. We talked about maybe modding this trailer a little bit. Shaq and I did the other day to accommodate for the difference in the size of the animals for the young versus the old. I get that you only hold like 40 beef cows when they're mature, but like pigs, if you can hold 40 big pigs in a trailer, you can hold at least twice, maybe 3 times that as a piglet, because those little babies are small. And so yeah, I would think you could put more in here for the piglet versus the full size, but the way it's set up right now, not so. All right, so back to the farm we go with our lamb, and we'll take them and drop them off, and then we'll grab another load of lamb to bring back up here to the slaughter and get our money off of them. So I am on the dedicated right now. Eric is on, Dr. Pepper's on, Wheels is on. Wheels is plowing right here in 9. Eric just finished up the potato harvest, which took a couple of days on 9, and he was working on it, getting that done. But I wanted to get on today and do a quick video on this because there had been several questions I had gotten. I have to adjust my dead zone. By the way, if you guys don't know, I've seen some people commenting about it in the show notes. Not in the show notes, but on the Discord server. A lot of people talking about dead zone. In case you guys don't know, I do have sensible steering turned on within drive control, which helps people out who are keyboard catting it. But if you're using a controller, that means it automatically sets your dead zone to 0. So you need to make sure that you go into your drive control if you want a little bit more dead zone into your controller, so it's not so herky-jerky. If you want to set up a little more dead zone, you can do so by one, going into your drive control and turning sensible steering to false. You just go into the drive control config file that is in your my games farming simulator folder. You will see a thing that is called drive control config.xml. You can go in there, you can set sensible steering to false, and then you can go into your main farm sim menu under options, and you can set your dead zone however you want to set it. I usually set mine around 6 dead zone. That usually works out pretty well for me. You might want yours higher or lower, it just depends. I try to keep it pretty low for the steering, but high enough that my joysticks don't automatically start moving my buckets and forks around on me. So you got to kind of compromise there a little bit. Oh, I might need to pull forward a little bit more to try and get this in the door. I might have messed up here. I might have needed to go up a bit higher. Getting into this one is a little bit trickier than getting into the bigs and the pigs and the beef. They're a little bit easier to get into. There we go. I managed to make it happen. All right, so now that I'm here, I'll go ahead and hit my Q button and unload all my young little lambs out of here and get them loaded in back in here and filling back up our little facility here so that we have plenty of animals. Now, the one thing I've noticed on this map, and I may have touched base with you guys this the other day, is I just hauled a bunch of lamb out of here, right? And I'm in lamb 5 is which pavilion we're in. Sometimes this slaughter weight does not update immediately. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to update. So you may pull up here and you may see that you have 30, you haul 30 off, and then you come right back and you still have 30. It doesn't always update immediately. So I'm not sure what triggers the update on it yet, whether it was the top of the hour or maybe the next time you come back with a trailer. But periodically this number will not update right off the bat, so it can throw you off a little bit. Alright, so those are in there. Since I don't have any more to get out, we'll roll up here to the next one where I have 70 more lamb that I need to grab out of here. And we'll swing over here and bring it out so we can back in here. There we go. Alright, and I will back her in here real quick. Got my wheels so I can get around. There we go. Alright, and I'll have to square up to this thing. Some of these are a little finicky as how you get into them to get the animals out of. That's another thing I've noticed. You might pull into it thinking you're right on it and you're going to get the animals out, and then you mess around for a while and you don't get the animals out. So you have to get really centered up on that door almost to get them sometimes. There we go. I get the icon. I still am going to back in a little bit more, straighten up, try and make sure I've got everything in the right position here. There we go. All right, so now if you look at my screen in my help menu, you'll see once again I have button 5 young lamb, and then I have button 5 lamb. If I accidentally loaded the young lamb and took those to the butcher, I'm sure I'm not going to get very much money for them. So make sure you switch over and you get to lamb before you try to do your loading. Go ahead and put my gate down so I can go ahead and load, and hopefully when I hit the button it's going to start filling up. It is, and I'm going to start getting the lamb. Now, like I said, if you took a young lamb over to the butcher, I bet you don't get much money for it. So that could be your problem if you're only getting a buck or two for the young for your animals. But like I said, you should be getting plenty of money. We're getting about $40,000 a trailer load for the animals. And if I look right now, because I just sold a batch off, and I also had just fast forwarded time. So if I look, yeah, I just harvested one group of animals. I got 44,550 bucks on that last trailer load. So that's what I actually got on that load, because I just turned the time up to 6 a.m. before I started this video, and so that's the first income of the day that actually came in. Alright, so we'll go ahead and haul ourselves back over here to the butcher. And we'll get another load dropped off. We'll pick up another load and bring it back. And that's sort of the way I do it, is I just haul a load, buy a load, haul a load, buy a load, haul a load, buy a load. And that way I keep the numbers constantly full and go from there. We're running quite a bit of livestock now. We worked the other night to reset everything to where we would have at least 100 animal per I really got to work on my dead zone. We set it up so we had at least 100 animal in every barn, and then I'm going to try to get the chickens up to where they have about 500 per barn on the chickens. That way we have plenty of manure coming in too. You know, the chickens produce a lot of manure, and then the you know, the pigs is a whole lot of slurry. The lamb are pretty much a mixture of the two, more slurry so than anything. So just trying to keep that going. And there's wheels plowing up there. So yeah, we're just trying to keep a lot of animals in there. Dairy wise, I think we're up to 1,000 cows dairy. Last night Chris D and I hauled a little over 1 million gallons of milk off to the dairy and sold that off. And then somebody came, we had like 1.6 1.8 million liters of dairy last night, and he and I just spent a couple hours just hauling milk off and getting that down to a reasonable level. And oops, I came to the wrong facility, didn't I? Well, that's not real smart there, Mushy. Go back out and we'll go to the butcher real quick. I forget I was hauling off to sell. But yeah, we sat there and hauled trailer load after trailer load of dairy to get the numbers down to about 400,000 liters. And then somebody came behind me this morning and hauled some as well. So we're getting the numbers back down and manageable. And I think that's the trick with all of this stuff, is if you do a little bit every day, you'll keep the numbers manageable to where it's not so daunting of a task to get it hauled off. I notice, like, I'll go over to the greenhouse some days and there'll only be a few pallets of lettuce over there, or cabbage, or whatever it is, you know, tomatoes, cabbage, and cauliflower. There'll only be a few of each, and I think people will see that, and I think they'll get a little misled by it and go, well, we don't really have to do anything because there's only 2 or 3 of them. Well, 2 or 3 of cabbage, 2 or 3 tomato, and 2 or 3 cauliflower is a full trailer load of items to haul off, and it's manageable at that point. If you let it build up where there's 10 of each sitting there, then all of a sudden now you have a level that isn't manageable, and it becomes a daunting task that nobody wants to tackle because nobody wants to sit there and do it. So I would definitely recommend that any of the tasks that you find on here, it's better to do a little bit at a time, so you don't, number one, get burned out on it or frustrated with it, and just knock out a little bit at a time and get it done, you know. All right. Because yeah, it will get tiresome hauling 1 million liters of milk. I will say that for sure. And I don't wish that upon anybody. That's the reason when things get out of whack like that, I try to take that task on and do it so you guys can go enjoy other parts of the farm. All right. So bring our help menu back up. We want to grab some more lamb. So let's go ahead and drop our thing. I do know that if you don't drop your ramp and you just hit R, you can just automatically fill without the ramp being down, which saves time, but at the same time it's not as realistic. So I do go ahead and take the time to drop the ramp down and load up my little lambs. So we'll get this trailer load loaded up, and then we'll head out. So I've got a lot of people responding in regards to doing a DLC weekend. Some of you guys have said no DLCs on the server. Understand that it's only going to be for a couple of days. It's not like I'm going to put the DLC on the server and leave it on the server. It's only going to be for a couple of days so that people who do have the DLCs can play with those in the multiplayer a little bit, and there's been quite a large response to it. So we will go ahead and do that. It'll start next Friday morning, and we'll go through next Saturday evening, I think is what we'll do. We'll do 2 days of it, and at the end of Saturday I'll just kind of gauge as to whether to go through Sunday, but it'll definitely only be for the weekend. So if you do have the Homer DLC, you will be able to use it on the server for one weekend, and like I said, we'll do that periodically. You know, that's the part of multiplayer that's cool, is being able to use things like that. And if I don't ever put them on the server, then people don't ever get to play with them in multiplayer. So I do keep in mind that a lot of people haven't paid for the Homer DLC, and so you wouldn't be able to get on, and that's the reason it's only going to be for 3 days at a time. But there's a way that you can reach a happy medium where people who have it can have some fun for a weekend, and then people who don't can get on the server the rest of the time. And so yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do it for one weekend. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll plan another weekend. All right. So we'll pull back over here. And we're headed up to number 6. I avoid these ruts over here. I mean, they're cool looking. I like them. But the trailers bottom out in it, and it throws the trailers all around, and I ain't got time for that. And in real life, if the road got that rutted out, I would either smooth it out and avoid the area, or just avoid the area altogether. Alright, so we're back up here at our number 6 barn for lamb. Alright, let's go ahead and pull up just a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and lock our wheels, roll her in. Come on, spin around. I messed this one up. Almost got in there. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and dump our lambs out. Get that load out. And then I'll pick one more load up to take off for slaughter. If I look at my numbers on 6, as you can see, that other load just netted me another 40,000. What, 41,000? No, about 46,000. So we're doing good. 96,000 is what we've got now. So I guess that was about 51,000 in lamb in that haul. All right, so if we come up here, lamb 6 has still got another 29 to take out of here. Already got one produced over there. So we are doing pretty good all the way around on our animals. Chickens, I still got to get some more chickens. But we're doing pretty good on them. And then cows, we've got 500. I thought I had 1,000. Well, let's change that today. I think what happens is we had a server, I think I added 500 in, but then we had a server issue the other night where I had to restart the server and we didn't get the save game, and we may have lost 500 head of dairy. All right, so we've got young lamb. Now here's where you could make the mistake. I'm going to load my trailer up. If I didn't switch from young lamb to lamb, I grabbed the wrong animal, put it in here, and then I wouldn't get the sell price. So I'm almost tempted to grab a young lamb and see if that's where the problem was. So here's a little thing with these. Again, I said some of these houses are really finicky, and you have to kind of mess around with them a little bit. If you don't get the trailer squared up to the trigger, sometimes it just does not work. So I have found that sometimes you have to get right outside the door, get squared back up to it before you can get them to load in. There we go. The trigger can be finicky. You would think that if you could unload off the trigger, you could reload off the trigger. But I guess it's two triggers stacked on top of each other, and one may be a different size than the other. I've never really looked at it to see what it is, but that's my guess anyways. Alright, so that's my load of lamb for this go round. Back my trailer up a little bit so I can get out of here. And we'll go from here. And we'll head back over to the butcher and we'll sell off this load. So anyways, I hope that information helps you guys out if you were having problems with the animals and couldn't figure out what the problem was. That's the best guess I have, as to if you're having an issue where you're not getting the price you think you should be getting for your animals. That's really the best thing I can figure out, is maybe that you're grabbing the wrong animal, and grabbing the young animal, and that's the reason why you're only getting a couple of dollars at the butcher. I would think you don't get the exact same amount of money. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Here's what we're gonna do. Y'all will stick with me a few more minutes. I'm gonna drive up here and sell off this load of lambs, and then I will go over and purchase a new lamb, and we'll sell it, and we'll see how much money we get for it. Whoops. Alrighty. Yeah, this dead zone's killing me. I think I've got it like at 10% right now, which it needs to be much lower. It needs to be down around 5. And again, it's a balancing act, because if I get it too low, when I'm using a front loader or something, just the least little bit of pressure on my joystick makes my front loader go crazy, you know. Whereas if I have it too high set, my steering wheel doesn't react well, or you know, the steering doesn't respond to my steering wheel as well. All right, just a couple of more. We'll get them out of here. We'll make a note of how much money we have. We'll buy 1 or 2 little young ones, and then we'll come back over here, sell them off, and see what we get from them. So let's knock this out real quick and see if that in fact is why you're only getting $1 or 2 per animal. Come on. There we go. Back up, back up, back up, back up. All right, let's see what we got here. We are set up for young lamb, and just for giggles, I'm going to go ahead and load with the door closed. Yeah, they just walk right through it. All right, I got 4 in here. Let's roll over here to the butcher. We have $26,782 and $782,242. So we'll sell them off and we'll see just how much money we get for it. Actually, though, I don't think it takes young. I'm gonna say that when I hit the button, it's gonna say doesn't accept them. It doesn't accept them. All right, so that can't be your problem either. So not sure where your issue is if you're only getting $1 or 2 per animal. But yeah, you can't even sell off young animals. I think I remember running over it the other day by accident and going, oh, well, duh. Maybe I was trying to get them out of the semi or something. So I definitely now remember running over that and seeing that before, and it's saying, oh well, you can't sell off young animals here. All right, so let's back this trailer up. So yeah, that whole conversation I have, I really don't know why you're only getting a couple of dollars for your animals. You should be getting good money for the animals. Now, like I said, you saw me haul off about 90 animals, I guess. Was about what I hauled off. And for that, I ended up getting, I think I had 26 in one and 70 in the other. So I ended up with selling all of those off. If we come up here and look how much money we've made, just in this episode, I've made $132,412, and I'm the only one selling anything off. So that money is coming from just selling off the livestock. So there's definitely money in it. I mean, you're getting over $1,000 per animal. You're only spending $20 plus materials on them. So they're definitely a moneymaker. All right, so I'll take this load back and I will dump it off, and that'll probably be it for today. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I thank you for your support. And again, I welcome you to join us on the dedicated server. People are asking me all the time, well, is it all right if I join the dedicated server? It's a public server. It's there for you guys to play on. I just ask people to respect the rules, you know. The information for the server, again, is located down in the show notes. Just click on the server and mods info link. That'll take you to the spreadsheet. First page is where you find all the information. I do ask that if you're going to be on the server, you try to jump on Discord. If not to talk, to at least listen to what's being said in the conversation as far as determination of what to plant in the field. If you think you're planting soybean in the field and everybody else is planting corn, you're going to have an issue there. So It does help that you can communicate with those guys. Real good group of people in the community willing to help you out and everything. So jump on there, chat with them, and be a part of the community, and we'll all have some good times together. I haven't been on as much this week during the day as late at night, specifically because I've been over at the farm working early in the mornings and tending to it, and so I haven't had any gaming time early in the mornings, and then late at night is pretty much when I do most of my gaming. You know, I usually haven't been getting on the computer until late in the afternoon, maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and at that point I've got things to do and get ready for the live streams and all that other stuff, answer emails, and try to get to a bunch of the messages and stuff like that are on the comments that are on the videos and things of that nature. Try to keep up with most of that stuff, and respond somehow to them. Maybe not always exactly what everybody wants me to respond to them, but I do try to respond. All right, so all right, come on now. I always overcut that stuff. There we go. All right. Oh, we'll get those little guys in their new home and they can eat up and fatten up, and then we'll do it all over again. So I do thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. We'll do some more farm sim this week. We'll do some live streaming. Probably Friday night we'll live stream farm sim again. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had a good time today, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even sharing it with your friends. It does help me out a tremendous amount and is greatly appreciated. Also, leave some comments down below. That's really the only way I can gauge if you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily notifications. I try to do a new video each and every day. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me and find out what's going on, our social links are down in the bottom left-hand corner. Twitter is where I usually announce schedule changes, live streams, and new video releases. Facebook's a great way to get in touch with me if you have any questions to ask. And of course, I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Google+, which I know I'll probably be old and gray before that happens. But if you can jump over there and follow me, it would be super awesome. So if you like today's video, there's a whole lot more content on the channel. I hope you'll browse through it, find something to keep yourself entertained until the next video or live stream. Speaking of live streams, I try to do them nightly around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you soon.